Hello everyone, and welcome back to Parkitect, and welcome back to Six Flags Discovery Mountain. So into a brand new area of the park in this one then. We're going to start working on the superheroes land. Now I don't know a great deal about comics and all that type of thing, so I just did a little bit of research from my own Six Flags experience. I found out that it was DC Comics superheroes that their land is based on, as opposed to all the Marvel stuff that you see at Universal Studios. So that's what we start working on today. Get quite a lot done in this one actually. I'd say the land is probably about just under halfway complete. Just before I start actually building on it, I worked here on a new ride called the Super Loop, and this is just sitting outside of the superheroes area. You'd sort of walk past it as you're going in, and I go back round adding some boards up outside the rides that don't have their safety warnings and all that type of thing that I forgot to put in before, so just very quickly completing some of that. We do have a minor crash happen on this one. My PC is running terribly at the moment for some reason, I don't know why. Well, to start with, it's a laptop, which is always a bad start. I've emailed Acer about the problem. It's giving me all sorts of funny coloured dots all over the screen and stuff like that. I'm no tech expert, so I don't really know what the problem is. I'm guessing it's something to do with the integrated graphics, because there's no problem with the GeForce card. That seems to be running alright. But all my other games are playing fine, but I have had a couple of problems with Parkitect recently. But we don't lose too much work on this occasion, so it doesn't really matter. Like you can see, I'm just sort of raising the path up as we go into the new land, sorting out where all the pathing is going to go, and we go for the more curved sort of design here. So yeah, that's using the pieces from, is it from Shy Guys Set or Architect Toolbox or something like that. One of the quite early on mods that most people have. You just get a nice rounded path. Unfortunately, there's no border that can go with that. A border would have been nice to put around that, but I can't find one that's big enough to go around the whole thing. So what we do, we just put Shy Guys fences around there, and it looks good enough. This all changes quite a bit anyway. When I go back to it, this is the first time I did it, but I rebuilt it almost exactly the same. This small bit where we had the crash here, so it's absolutely no problem. Yeah, but these fountains end up getting completely moved anyway later on in the episode. The first coaster I built for this area, I think there's going to be, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but I think there's going to be 3 coasters going into this area. The first one I build is an S&S Free Spin, and it's themed to the Joker, which I can't remember which Six Flags park it's at, but one of them, they have a free spin ride based on Joker. At least I think it's an S&S Free Spin. In the game it's called the inverted vertical spinning coaster or something, but this one, you know the one it is. You've probably seen it before in videos and whatnot if you've not ridden one yourself. I haven't. To be honest, I wouldn't enjoy that type of coaster anyway. It just made me nauseous, so it's not something I've ever ridden, and probably not something I ever will ride. But I do think they look really cool, and they fit perfectly into a Six Flags park like this. So a little bit of playing about with, so that it didn't end up too intense, having to put brake sections, a couple of brake sections in there just to slow it down. Go for the typical sort of purple and green Joker colour scheme. which works quite well, and then I add in some custom supports to the ride. There's not an awful lot more to say about this, so I'm going to leave you with some music and some time lapse for you to enjoy, and then we'll talk about the next thing we build. Okay, so that's the coaster in place, and I think it looks really nice actually. I'm quite happy with how it looks. Because of where everything is at the back of the park, it's going to take a while for people to actually start riding these. I might have to look at some of the path layouts for the park again, because to be honest, it's not got the best layout. But at the moment, not many people are actually coming back to this part of the park when I unpause the game. And I do want people to ride these coasters that are going to be in this section, so yeah, it's something to think about in the future anyway. I'll start laying out some of the layouts for the Superheroes Landing with the sort of idea of having a little sort of Gotham City Gardens area behind there, and then off to the left we'll put in another major attraction. I won't say what now, but you can probably guess what it's going to be. Also, I put in a couple more of the intense or the thrilling flat rides. The Tourbillon, which I wanted to put in there, end up changing the location of this to sort of in front of the area, but you still ride it from the area. Now I'm looking at it, I'm feeling that I might raise it up sort of one square, because it sort of looks a bit like it's down a hole when you're in the actual area. I need to probably try and make it fit in better with the area. And then behind the free spin coaster I put another flat ride. I can't remember what it's called. Our Transformer, that was the one. So yeah, that's a couple more rides for you there. And we start working on the entrance sign for this area, which I wanted to be quite prominent. It's entirely copied off the one at Six Flags Magic Mountain, which has this awesome DC superhero sign, which you now see me build. Like I say, because I don't know that much about the comics or anything, I had to Google a lot of this to sort of find out that, you know, obviously I know that the main characters, Superman, Batman and all that, but to get all the different images I had to look around a bit and do a little bit of research. So if anything, at least I've learned some more about DC Comics doing this. And yeah, this sign is my favourite part of the area. Once it's complete, I think it looks really cool. For the text then, I used the comic text and one of the generic 1 text, both in the Better Letters mod, which are really handy for signs. I really like that mod. I've used it quite a lot in this park, and I think it works out really well for all that sort of signage and that sort of thing. So yeah, there you can see DC Universe, and then behind it I use these really cool star shapes that are in the new shapes mod. I can't remember what it's called. Yes, I am looking at the screen, but because it's in my software it's all like blurry, you can't actually see it properly while I'm recording this. So you know what mod it is anyway if you play the game. If not, it's on the workshop. It went up very recently, but yeah, you can make some awesome shapes with that. And that's pretty much it really, just the different flyers, sort of, is that the word, like different signs with the different comic pictures on them around the sign, just how it would be in the actual one. And yeah, it's as simple as that really. But it's honestly, so far this bit is coming together as one of the best areas in the park. I think along with the area where Ninja is, the Asian area, this will probably be one of the top draws for the park. And I was able to do a bit more theming on this, which I like doing. Although they keep this theming quite basic in their superheroes areas in Six Flags parks, but I do think they're some of the best looking areas of their parks. So at this point I decided to get rid of the fountains, well, not get rid of them, sorry, move them over so that they're sort of in front of the coaster to the right, because I wanted to make room for a really cool building that I saw a picture of when I was looking on Street View inside Magic Mountain and their superheroes area, and it's this really cool looking, I've said that about 6 times in this video, haven't I? It's really cool looking Art Deco style cafe type restaurant, and if you're into comics and stuff, you'll know what this is from. I have no idea. I just thought it looks really good, and it's going in. So this took quite a while to do because I was using the Future and Space mod shape that I like to use quite a lot, and placing a lot of stuff off grid, so it took a lot of fiddling about with. So yeah, I'll leave you to watch me struggle while I build this, and we'll talk about it at the end of the video. Enjoy. And you can see what I was going for then with that building. It comes out looking awesome. even if I do say so myself. So we call it the, what do we call it? The Ace of Clubs, which is the same as the one in the actual park. So yeah, you walk through your superhero sign into the DC area, and it's the first thing you see, with the coaster sort of towering behind it. Or you can imagine how it would look from a first-person perspective. Obviously, we don't really use the perspective camera in this game very much, but yeah, I think it looked pretty cool going in. So that's it for this build then. Like I say, the area is still very much a work in progress. It's not even halfway there yet, but you can really see how it's coming together now. So I will leave you with the cinematic shots. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.